Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we've got the brand new Thanos World Boss Legend Plus event, where you have the event shop with the tokens that you can use to gain the new emblem or some of the old World Boss Legend Plus emblems. And it's causing quite a bit of discussion and discomfort in the community due to what a lot of players, myself included, are indicating is a pretty crappy event token shop. And this is not something that's necessarily new. They did a very similar, if not identical, shop for the Ebony Maw Black Dwarf drop, whatever, 6 months ago. And they also did a similar token shop for Corvus Glaive and Proxima. The issue is essentially just that they're doing it again. That's basically the big issue, is that this is the third or fourth time now that we've had an emblem event token shop, and they haven't tried or made any effort to improve it for players in a meaningful way. And what I'll basically show you to explain how that is by looking at the number of tokens that you get. So overall, if you do the math and if you do all of the event requirements, if you do all of these quests, you will be able to farm for free in 7 days 300 tokens. Now, 300 tokens, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It can get you one of either emblem for Proxima, Black Dwarf, Corvus. Oh, sorry. Just Proxima or Black Dwarf. It cannot get you Corvus or Ebony or Thanos. Those all cost 400. So right away, of the 5 emblems, which are the main focus of the event, only 2 of them can actually be obtained through gameplay. The other 3 have to involve money right away. So cha-ching, 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 like you're hearing those noises in your head? Absolutely. And you're probably wondering, like, oh, Alex, there's probably like a $5 or $10 pack to get those extra 100 tokens, right? Because you get 300, and you need another 100 to get to 400. Nope. The cheapest pack, which gives you exactly 100 tokens, is $28 Canadian, or I believe it's $20 US. Now, it does come with a decent amount of crystals and some other things, but this is pretty nuts, bro. This whole event is supposed to tide us over until the next update next week, and it's supposed to celebrate a World Boss Legend, Thanos, and the celebration involves giving them $30. What kind of Hey guys, come celebrate with us. Give us money to celebrate. That's some kind of celebration. Let's look at some of the other rewards, Alex. I'm sure they're very good. Well, for 150 tokens, you can get a random emblem, but keep in mind, none of the emblems from the World Boss stages are here. So it's not even indicative or sort of representative of what the update and the event is about. So that's weird. And the limit is also 1. So even though you have 300 tokens and you want to buy this twice, you can't. Because where would the fun be in that? Okay, well, what about the 4-star and 5-star artifact chests? Oh, okay, so you get a random artifact. Okay, cool. Spoiler alert, this is where the majority of players are going to be spending their tokens. It's a 250 tokens if you want to buy out the 4-star and the 5-star, and because it doesn't include all artifacts in the game, you actually have a slightly higher chance of getting something decent. Now, I say something decent because if we go from the top, Emma's artifact is really good, so is Storm's. Then on the second line, we have Sentry's artifact, which is really good. Mr. Fantastic's also pretty good. And then, well, Winter Soldier's is pretty good, I guess. Richard Rider's is a support artifact, so that's pretty good. Maybe Shala Balls is really good because it gives her the revive. So you've got like 7 out of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 7 out of 29, guys. 7 out of 29. That is what exactly? That is, you have a 25% chance to get a good artifact. A 1 in 4. And then you have the exact same chance again on the 5-star version. But you could just get Goliath twice, or Maximus twice, or Yellow Jacket twice, or whoever. That is the best case scenario for non-spending players, is to pull those chests and get and have a 1 in 4 chance, less than a coin flip, of getting something good. You want to get the 5-star artifact selector where you get to choose. Oh, you're going to have to pay real money for that. Nope, not farmable. You want to get an Odin's Blessing? You can get exactly 1 Odin's Blessing. Yep, that's right. That's the only other viable thing. Now, something new, I believe it's new, that they introduced is the Legend Plus chest, and this costs 10 tokens and has a limit of 50, but if you have 300 tokens from all of the quests, you can open it 30 times. Well, let's take a look what's inside. Oh, Tier 2 materials for a World Boss Legend Plus. Wow. Oh, there's some Tier 4 materials. There's some 5-star artifacts. Don't look at the chances, by the way. I'll give you a little spoiler alert. There's a 96% chance to not get an artifact. There's a 96% chance that you get something that's not an artifact. Yeah. So there's a 4% chance divided amongst all those artifacts. So it's like 0.017. And then it's like it's pretty bad, guys. Yeah, it's like a 28% chance, 27.5% chance to get gold, 27.5% chance or 25% chance to get black antimatter, 25% chance to get Norn stones. So it's basically like a 75% chance that you get gold, Norn stones, or black antimatter. So it's this chest is just terrible garbage. And so that's the state of the event. And I'm not going to lie to you, as a competitive PvP player, my alliance is going to crack the whip, and I'm going to have to buy that $27 pack to get the Thanos emblem. I need to get it now because despite having a pretty stacked PvE account and despite climbing, I am only on stage, 46. So I'm pretty close. At stage 50, I will be able to farm the artifact, but I'm not quite close enough. And I've been pushing. In some cases, I refreshed. So yeah, this is not a really good event. And the bigger issue is I haven't even talked about what happens to players who can't do World Boss Legend Plus. Now, this is a bit of a contentious topic because I think it boils down more to player, like how casual you are, player desire, what you want to call it, player drive, motivation. But I've seen players saying that it's bad, the event is bad, because they're not going to be able to beat Thanos, they're not going to be able to beat Proxima, and they're not going to be able to beat Corvus or Black Dwarf and Ebony because they don't have enough tier 4s. So you see you have to beat Proxima and Corvus once, which requires you to unlock their stage, and then you have to have 3 tier 4s, right? That makes sense there. And then you have to basically do the same thing for Thanos and the Black Order and Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw. The thing is, if you don't already have all of those bosses unlocked, chances are you won't be able to unlock it in time because of the requirements requiring you to fight 5 times on each boss, right? Like the 3 previous bosses, you have to beat each 5 times. So for example, for Thanos, you have to beat Corvus and Proxima 5 times. You have to beat Ebony and Black Dwarf 5 times. And I believe you have to beat Black Swan 5 times. That's already 3 days worth of your clears. And if you don't have 15 tier 4s, you won't be able to do 5 clears a day anyways. To this, I'm a little bit more on the fence in the sense that it's really more about player desire. I understand that a lot of players who are sort of strategically playing World Boss Legend, they don't want to unlock other bosses that they're not going to play because they're not a high enough VIP level to refresh their boss of the day. And so they don't want to put more bosses into the pool and then screw up their reward cycles. I get that. At the same time, we have evidence through Free-to-Play Old and Gray, best YouTube channel for Marvel Future Fight these days. So yeah, upon confirming, Free-to-Play Old and Gray has 9 tier 4s, and he's working on his 10th tier 4 right now, which is Sentry. So, and remember, he started at the anniversary with this account, right? You can see when you go to the live streams, you can see he's on day 188. So in less than 200 days, he's been able to almost accumulate 10 tier 4s. And you could argue that he could be further if he hadn't have prioritized more expensive tier 4s like Sentry. Now, that's not to say that everyone will be that quick, but it is to say that if you don't have enough tier 4s, chances are you've either hoarded materials for out of your choice, or you've stuck to farming null world boss and gotten the minimum possible rewards because, I don't know, change scares you, the game is too difficult, you never wanted to learn the new boss's moves, or whatever. And again, I'm not slandering players, I'm just saying this to me is more about being casual. And it's fine if you're casual, but then casual players can't also then want to get all of the rewards. Like, those two things are kind of incompatible, right? Being casual goes on one side, and getting all the rewards goes on the other side. They don't match together, because if it's a casual game where you get all the rewards, it's an AFK game. And AFK games, the hyper casual games, garbage. And I don't want MFF to turn into that. So I don't actually think it's a problem. if you can't farm all of the tokens, if you only get 190 tokens because you don't have enough tier 4s instead of 300, I don't think that's an issue. The issue is really what I spent the first half of the video talking about, which is that the rewards are bad. The rewards are overpriced, and it's essentially a scammy, pay-to-win kind of whale-only event, and that sucks to me. And so if they just fixed the shop, then it would solve both problems, because it would be fine for everyone who wanted to spend anyways, and then for the more casual players, they would still feel like they can get something. But yeah, as it stands, if you are a casual player and you can only get 190 tokens, then your best bet is to just, you know, open the 5-star artifact chest and pray. That's genuinely all you can do. For everybody else, it still kind of sucks, to be honest. It still kind of sucks. If there is an emblem that you're missing, either Proxima or Black Dwarf, I would say, yeah, pick that up. And then with your last 100 tokens, if you can farm all 300, open the 4-star artifact chest and pray. And then for the bigger spenders, I would say for sure you want to lock down the Thanos emblem. Some people will even say, okay, I'm going to get the Thanos emblem and the Ebony Maw emblem and maybe the Corvus emblem because I want the extra data, because it guarantees you a mythic emblem. I'm going to run the math on this. So if we take a look at these event packs here, this is like a very whale perspective. So, you know, don't get freaked out if you're not even thinking on these terms. But if you buy both of the packs, pack 1 and pack 2, you get enough for one emblem. But it also gives you 7,700 crystals. So it's 7,700 crystals and a guaranteed one mythic emblem for me, in this case, $98 Canadian plus tax. That's pretty good if you consider the fact that you're getting the crystals back, because essentially when you think about, okay, $100 Canadian is going to get me probably, like a best case scenario, it's going to get me about 10,000 crystals, which is only about 3,000 crystals more than I'm getting here. And then the difference is, do you think gambling you can pull a mythic emblem in 10 pulls? If you think your odds are good enough, which they're not, but if you think your odds are good enough to get a mythic emblem in 10 pulls is 6,700. So you basically have about 11 pulls to make back the difference. Now, you do get other emblem data with that for sure. So that is something to calculate, but this is a guarantee. Although it's an expensive guarantee, don't get me wrong. This is a guarantee, whereas gambling is not a guarantee. So you can get more luck. You can get obviously luckier. You can do one pull and get a mythic emblem. Boom. I think on average you need 13 mythic emblems to max out one other emblem. So we're like, this is deep Kraken, Orca, you know, Megalodon territory. We're not just talking about your standard dolphins, your standard like, oh, I spend $50 on the game a month. Okay, we're talking like the big spenders. But yeah, for the big spenders, it's definitely something to think about, because you can buy out those items twice, which means you can buy both emblems. You will be 100 tokens short of buying all 3, so just keep that in mind. If you don't want to do that, then you either have to, if you can log in on a different kind of device, whether it's Apple or iOS, Apple versus Android, whatever, and the items reappear. I don't know if they still allow that, or if they've gotten rid of that loophole to buy packs beyond their limit. Or if they have a web shop, if they duplicate it on the web shop. We have a separate video on the web shop coming. There's some crazy stuff there. But yeah, so that's basically the whole event. I wanted to cover it from all the perspectives. I know it's a bit weird to start the video complaining about the event from a free-to-play perspective and then end the video explaining how whales can maximize their spending. I'm just presenting you with the facts as I see them and my opinion as I have it. I'm obviously not going to be doing the very expensive spending portion of it, but it is something that maybe some people watching want to know and want the details on. So I'm just sharing like all of the information I possibly have. At the end of the day, it is kind of a bummer that this event isn't better, because the Thanos world boss is really fun. It's a really fun fight. It's really cool, and I think the devs have kind of gotten too focused on marketing and making money, and it's kind of ruining the game a little bit. So I really encourage them to make these events a bit more fun, make these events a little bit less scummy, less paywall, and a little bit more interesting. You know, you can have an event, you can have some extra tokens where it's like, oh, beat Thanos with Thanos or whatever, like some, you know, some fun stuff, some thematic stuff. and you could be a bit more generous with the rewards. I don't think it's going to kill you guys to give everybody the Thanos emblem for 300 tokens instead of 400. Like, it's really not going to make that big of a difference. A level 1 emblem is just 4% attack, right? It's not a crazy, but it would be a nice buff, right? Like, I could frame this. I could say in the video, like, hey, make sure you play this event, like 4% global buff, 4% attack buff for your whole account, global 4% attack buff for every player. But instead, I can't say that. I can say there's like a 4% physical, not even. There's a 4% physical attack buff for World Boss, which is what this is if it's level 1. Or it's like a 7%. It's like a 7% physical attack or 7% energy attack buff for World Boss only. That's pretty lame, man. I gotta say, that's pretty lame. Anyways, guys, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Thanos event, token event. Thank you so much for watching the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.